In the heart of Hawaii, a courtroom transforms into a battleground of narratives. On one side stands a respected doctor, denying a heinous charge. On the other, a haunting accusation of attempted murder. As the gavel strikes and testimonies clash, the jurors face a difficult task, discerning truth from deception. Today, we unravel a perplexing he said, she said legal drama that challenges how justice is served and perceived. Welcome to Court Decoded. Today, explore the high-stakes case of a Hawaii doctor embroiled in an attempted murder trial. In this riveting she said, he said courtroom drama, witness how justice hangs on the threads of conflicting testimonies. Unravel the complexities and discover what this case means for similar legal battles. The case begins with a startling accusation against Dr. John Kealoha, a respected physician in his community. An individual whose identity is protected due to the nature of the crime accuses him of attempted murder. The allegation sends shockwaves through the tight-knit island community, leaving residents and colleagues baffled. The accusation alone is enough to put Dr. Kealoha's reputation and career at stake. The plaintiff alleges a violent confrontation took place, leading to near-fatal consequences. She claims Dr. Kealoha, in a fit of rage, attempted to end her life. As the case unfolds, it becomes clear that her account is detailed and paints a gruesome scene, while Dr. Kealoha staunchly proclaims his innocence, maintaining that no such altercation took place. This conflict quickly morphs into a he said, she said scenario, where the truth lies buried under layers of narrative. The prosecution leans heavily on the alleged victim's testimony, while the defense undertakes the daunting task of dismantling her claims. Both sides prepare for a legal showdown where words and evidential contradictions hold the weight of justice. Dr. John Kealoha stands accused, but his narrative offers a stark contrast to the allegations. According to him, there was no violent encounter. Rather, he describes a volatile relationship that had been rigorous at best. He states that the incidents alleged by the plaintiff were fabrications, a vindictive move stemming from personal disputes outside the courtroom's walls. His testimony aims to dismantle the credibility of the accusations against him. He argues for consideration of his standing, presenting evidence of his spotless professional record and the absence of any history of violence or incidents that would tarnish his reputation as a peaceful citizen. To bolster his defense, his legal team reveals communication records suggesting the accuser may have personal motivations. The defense's strategy hinges on these alternate explanations, aiming to sow seeds of doubt about the plaintiff's account. A critical point in such cases lies in the ability to present enough doubt where the threshold of beyond reasonable doubt cannot be met. As the trial progresses, Dr. Kealoha's composed demeanor and steadfast narrative pose a formidable challenge for the prosecution. The prosecution, driven by the severity of the accusations, builds its case meticulously, leaning heavily on the testimony of the alleged victim. Her recounting of the incident is detailed, precise, and steeped in emotion. She claims that the night in question was filled with unforeseen violence, leaving her in a state of fear for her life. Medical records are brought to light, presenting injuries consistent with her version of events. These records aim to lend weight to her testimony, striving to paint a picture of a man capable of dark intentions. The prosecution argues that these incidents show Dr. Kealoha's hidden antagonistic nature, contradicting his public persona. They present character witnesses attesting to the accuser's integrity and credibility, weaving a narrative of surreptitious brutality behind closed doors. It is this stark contrast between public professionalism and private aggression that the prosecution seeks to establish as the crux of their argument. However, without concrete evidence like eyewitnesses or definitive forensic proof, their case balances precariously on the strength and believability of the accuser's version of events. In this legal chess match, strategies are a key. The defense seeks to invalidate the testimony through cross-examination, probing inconsistencies in the accuser's story and hinting at alternative motives. Meanwhile, the prosecution aims to reinforce their narrative with expert testimonies. They call upon forensic experts to interpret medical records and psychologists to provide insight into the plausibility of the alleged threats. The defense contests these points with their own experts, creating a battleground of professional opinions. The challenge lies in breaking down the timeline of events and analyzing details to sway the jury. This involves scrutinizing call logs, examining geographical data, and any potential surveillance footage that could either vilify or exonerate Dr. Kealoha. The courtroom becomes an arena where each side attempts to dominate through logical reasoning and compelling storytelling. The defense endeavors to instigate reasonable doubt, emphasizing the lack of physical evidence directly linking Dr. Kealoha to the alleged acts. The prosecution, however, seeks to persuade the jury by highlighting the emotional weight and consistency of the plaintiff's account, crafting a narrative that transcends technicalities and moves toward moral conviction. As the trial progresses, the jury faces an extraordinary challenge. Each member holds the burden of not only interpreting the law, but also deciphering the truth from the tangle of conflicting testimonies. In a he said, she said case, where definitive proof remains elusive, jurors must rely heavily on their perceptions, biases, and interpretations of credibility. The deliberation requires them to weigh comprehensive narratives, analyze motivations, and scrutinize character evidence meticulously. A verdict must be rendered beyond reasonable doubt, which proves complex in scenarios where both accounts possess a semblance of plausibility. This forces jurors to dissect testimonies with precision and empathy, understanding that their decision holds profound personal and societal consequences. They must consider the implications of acquittal versus conviction, understanding that justice is not just about this trial, but setting a tone for what constitutes credible testimony in future cases. The psychological toll is significant, as jurors grapple with the pressure of making a decision where certainty seems just out of reach. Their task is not only to ascertain facts, but also to navigate the moral implications their verdict might uphold. After days of deliberation, the jury returns with a verdict. Their decision reflects not only their interpretation of the evidence and testimonies, but also the intrinsic biases and societal standards at play. In cases such as these, the outcome can often hinge on the smallest threads of doubt or certainty woven through testimonies given. Both parties await the announcement with bated breath, knowing that this moment holds the potential to change multiple lives forever. The foreman rises, and a tense silence envelops the courtroom as the verdict is read. Not guilty. The jury concludes that the prosecution failed to meet the burden of proof necessary to convict Dr. John Kealoha beyond a reasonable doubt. Sighs of relief from the defense side contrast sharply with the crestfallen expressions of the plaintiff's supporters. The verdict underscores the inherently complex nature of he said, she said cases, where the absence of irrefutable evidence can alter the course of justice. For Dr. Kealoha, it's a return to the possibility of normalcy, albeit shadowed by the ordeal's permanent mark. The reverberations of the verdict extend beyond the courtroom, echoing through the halls of the broader legal and societal landscape. For the legal community, this trial underscores the persistent challenge of adjudicating he said, she said cases, where traditional evidence can play only a limited role. It brings to light the need for legal systems worldwide to effectively handle cases that hinge on personal testimonies, often marred by recollection discrepancies and emotional overlays. For society, the case revives debates around belief and skepticism in regards to victim narratives and the complexity involved in determining truth. It raises questions about the factors influencing credibility and how societal biases can affect outcomes. The trial emphasizes the necessity for balanced judicial reforms that can better accommodate the nuanced nature of human testimonies. Introspection becomes essential, with a call for frameworks that provide both empathy for victims and fair assessments for the accused. As communities digest the outcome, there is an evident shift towards fostering a culture where claims are thoroughly investigated and justice is pursued with mindfulness of both the legal and human elements entwined within. Reflecting on the case of Dr. John Kealoha, one is reminded of the indelible complexity inherent in the justice system, where human experiences and sufferings are distilled into evidence and testimonies. This case serves as a profound reminder of the judicial system's reliance on human perception, memory, and the stories woven from such threads. The evolutionary process of the legal system is evident as it strives to continually adapt to new challenges posed by cases that defy black and white categorization. Here lies an opportunity for growth, urging legal professionals to innovate in methods of collecting and presenting evidence in ways that honor the nuanced nature of reality. For the public, the case underscores the importance of upholding a society where accusations are neither dismissed out of hand nor accepted without scrutiny. It invites dialogue about trust, justice, and the role each citizen plays in an ethical legal framework. As the public and professionals alike ponder what justice means and how it is best achieved, the legacy of this trial becomes a catalyst for ongoing discussions on fairness, evidence, and the search for truth in the justice process. The trial's outcome delivered a not guilty verdict for Dr. Kealoha, a testament to the defense's success in establishing reasonable doubt against a backdrop of complex, conflicting narratives. This outcome highlights the judicial system's enduring challenge in he said, she said cases, where evidence beyond testimonies is limited. It reinforces the critical nature of establishing burden of proof and credibility in cases reliant on human narrative. For Dr. Kealoha, the verdict means a hope of returning to professional and personal normalcy. On a broader scale, the verdict prompts a reevaluation of courtroom strategies, pushing the legal community to refine methods in addressing cases with ambiguous testimonies. The societal implications question the balance between victim support and accused rights, urging a more robust discourse on innovative legal solutions. The case serves as a reminder that the determination of truth in the legal arena transcends raw facts rooted deeply in human complexities and the perpetual pursuit of balanced justice. Thank you for joining Court Decoded. This complex case showcases the intricacies of legal battles hinging on testimony. Subscribe for more deep dives into riveting court cases, share your thoughts in the comments, and like the video if you found it insightful. Stay informed and engaged in the pulse of justice.